raining, it's raining. Jeez, all the stuff that you have to learn for this so far. Things like how to go in a taxiway and so forth in the airports. Like, why do you need to know this stuff? Eventually, we'll have to learn about that meteorology and so forth as well. There's so much of the stuff that's just so irrelevant. From what I gather, it seemed like they said Transport Canada wants you to learn this so that you, quote, respect the airspace. It sounds so elitist in many ways in terms of the questions. They're so irrelevant. They need an actual drone flyer to help them come up with the laws if it's about safety, as opposed to saying, hey, it's my airspace, so you better learn the way I fly because that's how I use it. I guess it's one of those things that'll just take a little time to kind of weed out all the old way of thinking. In some ways, it almost feels like it's one of those, hey, I learned it to do it this way, so you better too, even though there's better ways to get things like information and all that. It'd be kind of like saying for internet, you better learn how to use the internet with a dial-up and so forth before you use the cable internet so that you respect internet connections. It's kind of interesting to hear the different perspective of the classes too. Like for a person like myself, class G, fantastic, let's fly the drone, nothing there. Whereas I guess for a manned aircraft person, they're like, class G, like, oh my goodness, an uncontrolled airspace, anything could be up there, like they're terrified. But again, for a drone flyer, so like a recreational guy doing it just normally, if they're only flying like so high, like basically if they're 120 meters, something like that in an open space, it shouldn't come anywhere near the manned aviation technically anyways, but it's interesting to hear the perspective. And how about this? Apparently there's going to be police drones in Vancouver. It says here, Vancouver Police adding drones to crime prevention arsenal. When the Vancouver Police Department begins flying camera-carrying drones soon, it will be taking privacy laws seriously as it develops policies around remote-controlled aircraft use, the VBD says. We are very close to being able to go public with our drone program, says Superintendent Michelle Davey of the Vancouver Police Department's Investigation Division. We have no desire, no interest in looking in your windows, Davey stressed at the Policing Info World Conference at Kwantlen College in Richmond, May 23rd. We have a desire to be completely transparent with our drones. She said dropping drone costs and readily accessible technology have allowed the force to consider integrating drones into city policing. And one example they use is it could be used for things like the hockey ride. It says back in 2011, when a small people are running through downtown core, they could use the drone to monitor stuff like that. And aerial cameras would also be useful for taking photos of crash scenes to gain better understanding of collision event and to see full car debris trails. And the one interesting note about cameras and stuff for people that fear that in the drones, it says 90% of Vancouver's downtown core is covered by private surveillance. And she said if a crime is being investigated, police would seek out that footage. That's kind of interesting to think about too. People are just worried about the drone with the camera up in the air. They're pretty much everywhere, huh? What would people think about that here? Be okay with it, or would they push back? Okay, all done for today. Although the funny thing was, the one section that we were learning at the end was meteorology. It was so long that we couldn't finish it. It kind of makes you wonder too, with those questions about clouds and all that. People could say like, why do I have to learn this? Yet you have to learn so much of it. It almost feels like they're making you learn more about meteorology as opposed to actual drone laws and regulations. For that topic though, with the regulations, I pretty much just went by that really easily as expected. An interesting note I heard from them was apparently DJI was working to get all of those DJI drones qualified to fly over people and near them. So I guess that's a good thing if it actually goes through. Alright, see you guys later.